11 Bizarre Things You'll Only Find in Mexico. Mexico is a country that amazes with its culture, nature, and traditions. Here you can find incredible ancient structures, delicious food, and festivals that make you forget about everything the world. But Mexico is not just about stereotypical sombreros, tequila, and beaches. There are things to do here that may seem strange, surprising, and even shocking. We're going to tell you about 11 of the most unusual things that can only be found in Mexico. It will be a fascinating journey into a world of mystery, fun, and of course, Mexican magic. Let's go. 1. Isla de las Muñecas. Let's start with one of the creepiest places in Mexico, the Island of the Dolls. This small island, located in the Xochimilco canals near Mexico City, has turned into a real museum of fears. There are old dolls hanging everywhere, on trees, fences, walls of huts, some without eyes or with torn-off limbs. Legend has it that one day the owner of the island, Don Julian Santana, found the body of a drowned girl. To keep her spirit from disturbing him, he began collecting and hanging dolls. Over time, the island became a veritable dumping ground for creepy toys. After the death of the owner, things became even more mystical. Some people claim that the dolls move or whisper at night. Today, the place attracts tourists who want to test their courage. Would you dare to visit it at night? 2. Day of the Dead. While for most people, death is an occasion for sadness, in Mexico it is seen as part of life. Dia de los Muertos, or Day of the Dead, is one of the country's most famous holidays. Every year on November 1 and 2, Mexicans remember their deceased loved ones, but they do it in an unusual way. Instead of mourning, they organize real carnivals, decorate altars with bright flowers, and bring the favorite food of the dead. Holiday is rooted in the traditions of ancient civilizations, such as the Aztecs and Mayans, who believed that death was a transition to another world. Symbols of the holiday include sugar skulls painted with bright colors and Catherine dolls which represent elegant death. This holiday is so unique that it has even been included in UNESCO's list of intangible heritage. 3. Flying cockroaches. If you are afraid of insects, Mexico may be a challenge for you. It is home to huge flying cockroaches that can reach up to 5 centimeters in length. They appear during the rainy season, when the humidity is particularly high. To see such a cockroach suddenly take off right in front of you is unexpected, to say the least. It is common for locals, but tourists are often shocked by their size and ability to move through the air. Despite their intimidating appearance, these insects are completely harmless. They do not bite, do not carry diseases, and often just try to escape from people. But you have to admit, the sight of a giant cockroach that suddenly takes off can stay in the memory of any tourist for a long time. 4. Spicy habanero chili. Mexico is a country where spicy food is not just a habit but a real passion. Here, chili peppers are added to almost every dish, from soups to desserts. But among all the variety of chili stands out habanero, which is considered one of the hottest in the world. Its level of spiciness can reach 3,5,0,0,0 on the Scoville scale, making it about 140 times hotter than Tabasco. This pepper is so stinging that even a small amount can bring tears to your eyes. However, Mexicans find ways to mellow its flavor by adding habanero to sauces with mango, pineapple, or lime. These dishes become both savory and sweet at the same time. But don't be fooled. Even with fruit, habanero remains a challenge for those not used to spicy. Ready to try it? 5. Cenotes, underground caves. On the Yucatan Peninsula, you can find a natural wonder that strikes you with its beauty and mystical atmosphere. Cenotes. These are underground caves with crystal-clear water that were formed thousands of years ago due to the collapse of limestone rocks. Cenotes played an important role in Mayan culture. They were considered sacred places where you could communicate with the gods. The cenotes have become a popular destination for tourists. Here you can swim, dive, and even explore the underwater caves with scuba diving. This is a unique experience that allows you to not only enjoy the natural beauty, but also touch the history of the ancient world. The cenotes is where the magic of the past comes alive right before your eyes. 6. Parrots that eat walls. Mexican parrots are not only bright and cheerful birds, but also real vandals. They have a strange habit. They like to nibble the walls of houses. The whole thing that plaster contains minerals that parrots need for health. These birds are so persistent that even if you try to chase them away, they will still come back. This doesn't always help. Parrots seem to prefer a natural source. This phenomenon is so common that it has become part of the Mexican of folklore. So if you see a parrot chewing on the wall, don't be surprised. It's just Mexico. 7. Noche de Rábanos, Radish Festival. Every year on December 23, the Mexican city of Oaxaca hosts one of the most unusual festivals in the world, Radish Night, or Noche de Rábanos. On this holiday, radish becomes not just a vegetable, but a material for creating real works of art. Locals carve intricate figures out of radishes, depicting scenes from Mexican history, mythology, and even Christmas scenes. This tradition began in the late 19th century when farmers would decorate radishes to attract customers to the market. Over time, it has become a popular event that attracts hundreds of tourists. Festival participants compete for the title of the best craftsman, and valuable prizes await the winners. But there is one difficulty. Radishes lose their freshness quickly, so participants have only a few hours to create their masterpieces. This celebration is proof that in Mexico, even ordinary things can become something magical. 8. Tequila worm. Tequila is perhaps Mexico's most famous alcoholic beverage. But did you know that you can find a real worm in bottles of mezcal, a close relative of tequila? Yes, it's not a myth. This worm, called gusano, is not just added to the bottle for beauty. First, it symbolizes the quality of the drink. It is believed that if the worm remains intact in the mezcal, it is strong and pure enough. Second, tourists traveling to Mexico often see this as the worm is a challenge. Many dare to eat it, believing it to be a test of courage. Would you try it? Or would you prefer to leave this strange Mexican tradition to others? 9. Dancing traffic lights. Mexico is a country where even everyday things like traffic lights can become extraordinary. In some cities, like Mexico City, traffic lights don't just flash red, yellow, and green. They show animations of dancing figures. These traffic lights were introduced to make waiting at crosswalks more fun and exciting. Instead of being bored, people can watch dancing little people moving to the beat of the music. This is especially popular with children who enjoy waiting their turn to cross the road. But there is also a practical side. Such traffic lights help to reduce the number of accidents. People become more attentive and patient, and the colorful animations attract the attention of even those who are usually distracted by their phones. This is further proof that Mexico knows how to add creativity to even the most ordinary thing. 10. Magic cities, pueblos mágicos. Mexico is famous not only for its large cities, but also for its many small magical towns called pueblos mágicos, or magic cities. These are small communities that stand out for their history, culture, architecture, and traditions. The Magic Towns program was created in 2001 to preserve the unique heritage of such places and attract tourists to them. Today, there are more than 130 towns on the Pueblos Mágicos list. San Miguel de Allende, for example, is a city that is striking for its colonial architecture and narrow streets. Through the streets, here you can see magnificent churches, old houses, and enjoy the silence that is so rare in big cities. Another example is Tasco, famous for its silverware, or Tepoztlan, where you can climb the ancient pyramid of Teposteco. Each of these towns is a little trip back in time where you can feel the spirit of the real Mexico. If you want to see the country from its authentic side, be sure to visit one of the Pueblos Mágicos. 11. The Pyramids of Teotihuacan. Teotihuacan is one of Mexico's major attractions and an enigma to archaeologists around the world. This ancient city is only 40 kilometers from Mexico City, and its scale is astounding. There are two huge pyramids here, the Pyramid of the Sun and the Pyramid of the Moon. Teotihuacan was built around 100 AD, but it is still unknown who exactly built it. The city was abandoned long before the arrival of the Aztecs, who later gave it the name Teotihuacan, which means City of the Gods. The Pyramid of the Sun is one of the largest pyramids in the world. Its height is about 65 meters, and from its top it offers a stunning view of the valley. The Pyramid of the Moon is a little smaller, but it is no less mysterious. This city still holds many mysteries. For example, in the underground tunnels under the pyramids, mercury and strange artifacts that may have been used in rituals have been discovered. Teotihuacan is a must-see if you want to feel the spirit of ancient Mexico.